Door Conversations. I'm your co-host Lisa White, and I am sharing this platform this morning with the lovely Marla Lewis and Kimberly Dixon Dudley. How are you ladies doing this morning?
Fabulous.
There you go.
Fabulous. How are you?
Usual. Making it work, looking good while doing it, huh?
I see you got your red on, honey.
The red is my color, honey. It is my color.
Making it pop.
And you got your color on today too, huh?
Oh, money green.
Yeah, money green, baby. That's right. Hey.
How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm very excited about today's show.
Today's a good one.
Yes.
Today's a good one.
I was looking forward to this one.
Me too. I was really looking forward to it. If you guys are followers of Red Door Conversations, then you will be excited as well. Our guest today actually has his show. We are doing an update with this young man, right?
That's right.
His show
was our most watched show on
That's
YouTube.
Right. On YouTube.
So we're going to catch up with him
We're
today.
going to catch up with him. We're not giving any names. We're not doing any of that right now, okay? Because we want you to come back. Yeah, we want you to come back. We want you to stick around. Okay? This is Lisa White with Red Door Conversations. Stay tuned. Hi, Lisa White with GBR Realty. Today we're going to be focusing on ways that you can save money by owning a property versus renting. There are many ways that you can save money by owning a home. One of the ways that many people love are your tax benefits. There are tax-free profits when you sell a property. There is mortgage interest deduction, and we have home office deduction. Those are just a few of many. Hedge against inflation. What that means, folks, is that whatever your interest rate is for your mortgage, it is going to remain that for the life of the loan. Inflation may rise, it may fall, but that interest rate is going to remain the same. You save money by owning a home when you accrue equity in that property. And when you accrue equity, that ultimately, guys, will increase your net worth. When you own a home, that means you have options. Guys, you're able to save and make money by renting that property out. If you have more questions that you would like answers to, we would love to talk with you. Send me a DM and a member of my team will get right back with you. Welcome back to Red Door Conversations. I am Lisa White. Today's show title is Catching Up with Chris, Mr. Christopher Senegal of Invictus Development Group. Thank you for being here on the show, Chris.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the invite. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. And before we get started with the show, we're just going to give a little bit of what Chris is doing right now. Because he's doing a lot. Yeah, he's doing a lot. So he is a social impact real estate developer that is based right here in Houston, Texas. We're so blessed to have him right here in this city because he's doing some amazing things. He is focused on the revitalization of historically black neighborhoods, catch this, without displacement, okay? Right, without displacement. His model includes new construction to bring higher incomes back, acquisitions of real estate portfolios to protect existing residents, that's good as well, mixed income apartment complex development, charter school planting where public schools lag behind, that's a big one. He is currently the only African American development partner with the Houston Housing Authority. Guys, let's welcome to the show, Mr. Christopher Senegal.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
Yes.
So this is season 4 of Red Door Conversations, and you joined us on season 1.
Right.
And in that first season, like I said before, that was our most watched show on YouTube. We dove into some heavy topics, but you had a project that you were just starting, and I believe it was Liberty Square. It was your first 14-unit development, and we just want to get caught up on where you're on that project and really what you're doing after what you've done thus far.
Right. So that project was me taking an old abandoned grocery store site and some old blighted drug attractive houses where you know it was a nuisance in the neighborhood. And the first thing I tried to do was bring a grocery store back, but talking to all the flagship stores, they said the demographics in the community were not there. So then that's when the light bulb went off for me that I could do new construction here, attract young working professionals that may have grown up in a neighborhood just like that, and give them an alternative instead of having to go to Katy, Pearland, or Humble. To stay in the city. So the first phase of that project was very successful. All of the buyers were young black working professionals.
Excellent.
Since we are on a real estate show, no discrimination on
No.
So,
but it is what it is.
No, but there's an intended effort to make sure that people who have been underserved are currently being served.
Yes.
That's right.
And you know what happened was when I started listing the houses for sale, since I had to set my own comparables, there were no new construction housing in that zip code. The only full price offers were from people from the community that saw the value. I did get a lot of other offers, but they tried to lowball me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yep. So it all
And
worked
you
out.
stood firm and solid on this is the price.
This is
what
price.
I'm selling it for.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And you know, even all of them were sold before they were complete. So for
That's an ideal model.
for
Yes.
for the first phase. And now all of my buyers have $70,000 or $80,000 in equity in their homes. It's only been a year and a
Beautiful.
half.
That is beautiful.
Awesome. That's what we're
That
talking
part
about.
right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Now the area itself is expanding. I mean, you were the flagship. You were the Phoenix. You came in, you saw an opportunity, and I see a whole bunch of people doing similar projects in the area. Now, are you
Right.
working with some of those folks on projects, or are you expanding on Liberty Square in the area?
Oh, definitely. I'm doing several projects over there now, and so Andre Berard is another. He's an
Friend
agent
to the
also.
show.
Yep, and an investor as well. He's building over there. Tasha Royal, of course.
Okay, okay.
So Tasha was actually building over there before me, just in a different part of Fifth Ward.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we're all on the same network. It's a lot of black builders and a lot of black agents. It's a good ecosystem in Fifth Ward right now.
Right, right,
Awesome.
right.
Now let me ask you this: with Liberty Square, the last time you were on the show, you told us that it was a joint venture project with someone in which they would make about 20% back on their investment. How did that go? And would you structure future deals that same way?
Yes, I would. So actually,
Okay.
I had two people that were key to that project. One was the previous owner of the property. So instead of me paying him out the $450,000 he wanted for the land at that
Now,
point,
is that what was the Jewish guy?
yeah, the Jewish guy.
Okay.
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 Yes. So at first I had a structure with a seller finance deal where I was making payments to him like he was the bank. Then I came up with another approach and I offered him the opportunity to be my partner in the project and remove the loan.
Yeah.
So then me being the president of the LLC, then we go to the bank. I have a company that has $500,000 in assets.
That's it.
And so he partnered with me, and then every time I sell a house, I was paying him down the balance that I owed him. And then to have extra cash, because the project still wasn't bankable because there were no comparative sales, I had to bring more cash to the table. So I had a friend who, she used to work for Shell, and so she rolled over an old 401k to a self-directed IRA, and then did a joint venture with me for cash equity into the project.
And you said that, okay, we're gonna pause and say that because that was not a taxable event.
It
When
was
she rolled over that IRA. So if you're
Right.
working for a corporation, you're in corporate America thinking about trying to get into investing, there are options for you to do that with money and resources that you have already
There you
without
go.
being penalized.
Yep, 100%.
So that was awesome. Wow. I mean, you did that. That is a very complex,
That's complex.
financial
That's
structured.
Right. And so that's why I was just curious, how did that work out? And is that something you would do? But you clarified it, yes, you loved that structure.
Yes, I mean, I think the most challenging part was putting it together and figuring it all out. It took over a year to get all that done.
Wow.
But now that I have that model, it can be replicated.
Copy and
There you go.
But you should say that again. It took over a year to
That's
put it
it.
together and
Took over, yeah.
execute. It's not cookie cutter, microwave overnight.
That's
Right.
it.
But once you got it,
Yeah,
you
that
got
was-
it.
After 23 banks told me no, I said, okay, it's not a bankable project. I have to figure out how to do it.
Oh,
Wow.
But Chris, that's the thing about you though, is that you are so 23 banks turning you down. A lot of people would have
Given up.
tucked their tail and ran home. But
you went on and back to the railroad doing that civil engineering.
yes.
And you said no to all of that. You said no. That is not something that you said you were working too hard.
It's perseverance and
Yes.
stick-to-itness.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We love that.
So when you were here last time, you also talked about some lots that you owned in Baton Rouge. I believe were they near Southern University or something?
They are, yeah.
Okay. Do you still own them, or have you built homes on them, or what's the status with that?
You know what? I haven't done anything with the Baton Rouge property yet.
Okay.
Just been paying the taxes on it.
There you go.
Another small group of black developers and investors, they're actually actively building over there now.
Got it. Okay.
So I did sell 2 of my lots to them for them to expand on one of their projects where they needed more parking space.
Okay.
But I think I wanted to focus on Houston because I had so many other projects.
That's a takeaway as well. Focus on what you have in front of you, perfect that.
Rather
Not
than
saying,
trying to have your hand in so
there
many
you
different
go.
pots.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Because when you're not mastering any of it or
Yes.
perfecting any of it,
Yes.
all of it ends up being a mess.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
And so,
100%.
your goal is to still own the lots and keep them until you're ready to do what you want to do with them.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, what do you see? Okay, so Houston's real estate market is obviously just taking off. I mean, it's rolling. Has Baton Rouge kind of slowed or?
Yeah. Baton Rouge
that why?
it doesn't have the catalyst for economic development or redevelopment like Baton Rouge. I mean, like Houston does, especially Fifth Ward with that East River project. That's pretty much a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to get in on the last historically black neighborhood that's surrounded downtown.
Yeah.
That hasn't been completely gentrified. And I think Fifth Ward has the most catalytic project because it's a $2.4 billion project on Buffalo Bayou with the golf course.
Right.
And so we're never going to have an opportunity to control the narrative in one of our neighborhoods in a city
So that's
this
a
large.
public and private partnership type
It
of.
is. It is. But for the most part. But the developers that own City Center and this project is Midway. That's a privately held company, and the CEO is Brad Frills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When we read your bio, you mentioned.
I was getting ready to go back to that too. Go
Yes,
ahead.
you mentioned revitalizing and developing without displacement. Give our audience and viewers a little bit of an explanation. What does that mean?
Well, when I first got into flipping houses back in 2008, I was making money, but I realized sometimes I may be doing a detriment to my own community. By the wholesaling approach is you go find somebody that owns a house, you offer them less than what the house is worth, even though you know it's worth more, with the whole goal of getting a big
Capitalizing
profit.
on it.
Yourself.
Yeah, either keeping it and for yourself or selling it to another investor. And sometimes, when you're knocking on doors, you're talking to people that actually live there and convincing them to do that. It's not good.
That's not good. That's why
So
Chris.
so my approach was, okay, if I'm going to do that, it's only going to be property that's abandoned, or it's a tired landlord that wants to get rid of the property.
It's a real increase in
Right.
value without impacting somebody.
And I usually won't take on the project if it's occupied, so it has to be vacant.
Okay.
Because
That's good.
even as an investor, if you take that on and you're planning to renovate and raise the rents, you're still going to end up displacing that person that's
That's
living
right.
there. So,
So you operating with a whole lot of integrity out here.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, there's a way to do development with integrity.
That's it.
I mean, there's a lot of money on the table.
That's it.
You can either choose to seek it with honor and
That's
integrity,
right.
or
That's
not.
right.
That's
Really
right.
two
Yeah.
lanes.
So guys, hold that thought.
Oh.
We are on the Red Door Conversations with Chris Senegal here, but we've got to take a break and we'll be right back.
Today's topic, we're going to talk about the benefits of homeownership, my most favorite topic to discuss in the world. One of the benefits of homeownership is the opportunity to build wealth through home value appreciation. If you own a property and that property is appreciating and increasing in value, then you are building wealth for yourself. Mortgage interest deduction. Any interest that is paid is tax deductible. An overlooked benefit of home ownership is that you develop a strong credit history. Paying that mortgage on time every month for the life of the loan will earn you a strong credit history. Hedge against inflation. Lucky for you, you are locked into the same interest rate for the life of the loan. Another benefit of home ownership, and it's actually my favorite, and that is you get to create a sense of community. If you have more questions that you would like answers to, we would love to talk with you. Send me a DM, and a member of my team will get right back with you.
Welcome to Red Door Conversations. I'm your co-host, Kim Dixon Dudley, and we are here in a hot conversation with our guest today, Chris Senegal. Thank you again for joining us.
No problem.
So humble.
He's so humble.
I mean,
he's such a big presence in
Yes.
our city's affordable
Yes, Kim.
quality development space, and he's so humble. But we love that about him, and he's always full of knowledge. We want to revisit some of the stuff that we talked about in season 1 here on season 4. But something I've been thinking about is you talked about crowdfunding a project, and I think it was about 2 years ago.
Right.
1, what was that project for? 2, did you guys raise the money you were looking for? And 3, would you do that again?
Yes. Okay. So that project was the next phase of my approach to redevelopment in the communities. When you know gentrification is coming, usually what happens is a lot of the existing residents get displaced. And the ones that usually get displaced first are the renters, because the other investors see an opportunity to make money, so they'll sell their rental properties.
Right.
And so this project was an opportunity to buy an entire portfolio of 18 houses
Wow.
and 2 vacant commercial buildings from one family that owned it all. And some of the residents have been living there 30 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I put together a package, once again, using creative financing.
Right.
Yes.
I did seller financing on this one too, no bank.
Okay.
And bought the entire portfolio for $1.2 million.
And you said 18 houses and two commercial properties.
And two commercial
Okay.
units, yes. And then what I did was I did a crowdfund, and we raised a little over $1 million in about 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have investors that invested as little as $250, and now they have ownership in the project.
Now, do they participate in some of the decision-making process, or do they just experience the process of development from the outside?
They just experience the process of development,
Okay.
of ownership and doing the project, because you have that many people, a lot of them have no experience in real
Right.
estate, so you don't want them making decisions for everybody
Right.
else.
So question, how do they make money with it?
So, great question. So they own shares, just like owning a share of a company.
Okay.
So as the value of the real estate goes up, their share value goes up.
Got it.
And then we take 40% of the net profits after all the bills are paid from the rents.
Okay.
And I cut checks to everybody twice a year for that. Or they can let it accrue and they can take it at a later date.
And a lump sum. So is this like a real
Sharp
estate
young
investment
man.
trust? Is it like a trust?
It is.
Real estate
It's
investment.
kind of like a project-based trust. It's for one project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very smart.
And so you like the crowdfunding concept, and
I do. It's something that you have to be very specific about and very tactful on how you approach it when you're evaluating projects, because you're taking a whole lot of people's money.
yes.
And it's not charity. They want their money back and they want returns.
And they want their
yes.
returns.
Yes.
They want-
Yes.
So this one made sense because, when you're looking to invest in something, you want to know that it has stable revenue. Tenants been living there for 30 years. That's pretty stable revenue.
Absolutely.
So you kept the tenants in place.
Kept the tenants there. Yeah, I didn't raise their rents yet. I took the vacant commercial buildings and turned them into short-term event spaces or flex spaces. So just like the type of studio we're in right now, I have a podcast studio that uses my space. You
Right,
guys
the Pure Space, yeah.
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yes. So Gary moved out of his old office and he does all of his
Correct.
clients in that space too. And today and tomorrow, the principal of the local KIPP school is using it for training from 8 to 4 for 2 days.
Beautiful.
Birthday parties, engagement parties, anything you can think of.
Right.
And so that generates so much revenue that I haven't had to raise the rents on the residents yet.
And so you own those houses that are behind that space.
Correct.
That was part of that.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see you, Chris. Catching up with Chris.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, in 2019, though, you came up with a nonprofit that was geared towards those that wanted to do trade training. Give us an update on that.
So that one, that's one of the things that I ended up having to hand off.
Okay.
Because my plate was too full and I wanted to stick with the real estate component of it.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah, but they're in great hands. A couple of my friends like Ian Dunlap, who works with Earn Your Leisure a lot. He's
Okay.
teaching a lot of the trading out here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we talked about. I felt myself getting spread,
Too thin.
Okay.
and I had to focus on the bigger projects where I already had investors dedicated, and
Yes.
I had a commitment to them to make sure I stay on top of what.
But that's a part of being a visionary too.
Right.
Because
You
you're
have to know
it's
what-
you have
what's-
to know what you can do.
That's right, and what's
but
not for you.
also seeing the bigger picture. That the real estate part is one arm of developing a community, but it's also bringing trades in who can work in
That's
that
right.
community,
That's
who
right.
are skilled in that community. And it's not you handed it over to people on good capable
yes.
hands,
Yeah.
but a very necessary component of develop communities, responsible community
Yes.
development.
Right.
So wow.
Now, in your bio,
Visionary.
you talked about chartering charter schools to, I guess, compensate or provide what the public school system is not.
Right.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, so another problem that we have when our neighborhoods are going through gentrification is even if there are opportunities for you to move back to the community, let's say that like I'm working on an apartment complex also, working on like the new construction homes. Well, a lot of us don't want to go back because we look at the school systems.
There you go.
Yes.
Right,
There you go.
and that does two things. It keeps us out of our community. It invites other people in, and they buy because they're not worried about that.
Because they can go to
Private schools.
Exactly. And the kids in that community are suffering the whole time.
That's right.
And so instead of us waiting for the public school system to get better, I just said, well, why don't I go out and find some of the top performing black charter school networks in the country and
There you
invite them
go.
to Houston. And I started that process, and so I have the top performing black charter school system with 27 locations. The founder is actually the lead usher at Martin Luther King's funeral.
What's the name of the school?
Friendship Schools.
Friendship School.
So they have 27 schools and in total, 12 are in DC, several in Arkansas and Little Rock.
How many are going to be here in?
The first Texas location is going to be my project with the apartment complex.
And that is set to open when?
2024.
Got it.
Yeah, 2020.
Get it, Chris.
We needed to catch up with Chris.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking
We
about.
needed to do this.
I mean, it's like we're like big sisters here to you because I don't want to ask you your age, but I
You
know
told us our age on the last show.
Yeah, I'll be 39 this year.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and guys, I have to say this. We have to congratulate Chris because you had your son at what age?
16.
16. And the son just graduated from college.
Full academic scholarship.
Full academic scholarship. I mean, was it high school or college? It was college.
University.
Yes, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so graduated from college, 16 guys. So there are no excuses, okay?
Right.
We're very proud of you.
Yes.
We want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come visit the ladies at Red Door Conversation. It's always a great time when you're here.
Always.
Guys, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Oh, no.
Already?
Already. But you guys, tell the people how they can reach you.
Okay, so Chris Senegal on all platforms from YouTube to Instagram. My website is the same, chrissenegal.com, and I'm easily accessible. If you need to get me or get information from me, feel free to reach out. There's contact information on every platform.
He's doing some big things. You guys need to follow him. Chris Senegal. Thank you for being with us. This is Red Door Conversations. We'll see y'all next time.